Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I wanted to discuss some Samsung wireless earbuds just to really drive the point home that it is not one company that is leading the charge forward with anti-consumer practices and anti-right to repair stuff. So this is about their earbuds and it includes Kyle from iFixit. So here it says supply chain contracts can be a loophole to the right to repair. Kyle Wiens exemplified how supply chain contracts are used to control the flow of replacement parts in the market using Varta, a battery supplier for Samsung. Samsung uses Varta coin cell batteries for its Galaxy earbuds, which means that in theory, any third-party repairer should be able to acquire this component with relative ease. It's just a Varta coin cell battery, after all. However, Wiens clarified that the contract between Samsung and Varta prevents the latter company from selling replacement components. When we go to Varta and say, can we buy that as a repair part, they'll say, no, our contract with Samsung will not allow us to sell that, added Kyle Wiens in an interview with ZDNet. In other words, it's nice that Galaxy Buds are some of the easier-to-repair wireless earbuds in the market, but that doesn't count for much if the replacement parts are virtually impossible to find. It makes for some nice PR, but it doesn't really help customers. So let's focus in on this for a couple of reasons. So the first is you'll hear a lot of people say that the reason people don't get authorized or the reason that these unauthorized places are bad is because they want to use cheap, shady knockoff parts. They don't want to use original parts. No, I'd love to be able to buy original parts, but one of the problems is that the manufacturer won't sell them, and it's one thing if you don't want to sell them, but then they'll go over to the company that makes that battery and say, don't sell that battery to anybody. It's kind of like, it's one thing if I say, I no longer want to date Erica. It's another if I say, I don't want to date Erica, and no man may date Erica. I don't want to resell the battery from my own earbuds, and I don't even want the company that makes the battery to resell it to anybody. It's ridiculous. And this is a part of what I'm talking about on this channel all the time. What's going to be the first thing that goes bad in wireless earbuds? The first thing is going to be the part of the product that has a finite lifespan, that is guaranteed 110% regardless of how well you treat the product to die, the battery. What's the one part of that you're not able to buy because of the manufacturer's contract that explicitly spells this out? The battery. Now, I was engaging with someone on Reddit, and I'll include a link down below, who was saying that if I don't know exactly what I'm looking for or asking for, politicians are going to, quote, eat you up and spit on you. Trust me, I assure you, even when we do know what we want, politicians are quite good at eating us up and spitting on us. It's why Congress typically has a 15% approval rating in the United States. But I digress. Going through this, they were saying how there's a lot of supply chain issues. If you want to gain momentum for changing these spheres, does it really make sense to rely on your own experiences? You need to understand how supply chains work and why it is you can't get this chip. There's other reasons for it. And I went over in my post, I'd love to understand what these other reasons are, and I'd love to answer these concerns, but we never get an opportunity to engage on these concerns. Because when we engage on these concerns, we don't actually get to talk about this as an issue. We don't get to talk about the things that matter. We get to talk about how magnetometers and microwaves explode and how some evil independent repairman may install TikTok on your phone. We don't ever get to engage on the actual supply chain issues. I'd love to engage on supply chain issues. I'd love to ask, what is your concern? When you say no to right to repair, give me your list of concerns so that we may figure out how we can work together with you. Because I'd like to work together with you. I don't want to just run in there with a bat and just destroy everything because manufacturer bad. I want to understand what your concerns are so we can come up with something together. The problem is that when we show up at a legislative hearing or when we speak to adversarial lobbyists, what we hear are magnetometers and microwaves are going to explode. You're going to get all your data hacked. And if you let independents do this work, they may install TikTok on your phone. And that is a problem, that we don't get to have real back and forth conversation. I'd like to have real back and forth conversation. And the reason you're at this point where legislation with this language has showed up in over 17 legislatures around the country, the reason this has gotten to the FTC, the reason that this has gotten to Biden's desk as in the form of an executive order, and the reason this movement is so large is that when we express our concerns, rather than engaging in an honest back and forth where you say, here's my real concern, I say, here's my real concern, and we try to meet somewhere and come up with a solution, we say, here's our concern, and they make shit up. They make shit up. And I really would like to engage on these types of supply chain concerns where they exist so that we can actually live in a world where when you buy headphones, they're not disposable. Because headphones are not supposed to be disposable. Yeah, you may break the plug. You can buy a new Neutrik plug online and replace it. You may blow up a driver if you play it too loud. Those are replaceable. You may mess up the ear pads or whatever. But the idea that even if you treat them perfectly, that they are a disposable product. That's insane. But you let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. Kyle has exemplified how supply chain contracts are used to control the flow of cat food to Oreo. He's only gotten 2 cans today, that's why he's crying.